So this video is in response to most of the debates I've watched online. Especially I do follow the Crucibles or Andrew Wilson. He's an American and also an Orthodox Christian. So, he fight against degeneracy in the United States, which is a good thing. I support what he does. It's not nice. He doesn't use niceness, to defend Christian position, or which is good thing, because I never accept that idea that to be a Christian means you have to be nice and soft. That's bullshit. Especially if you actually read the Bible. Well, these days it's hard to even tell what original Bible actually states, because now it has been edited and softened and a lot of things have changed. So I'm talking about the original Bible, like the earlier versions. At least you could still understand the original context. So the only place I disagree with him, which is why I'm doing this video, is on the push for monogamy. That is a good thing. Andrew Wilson always try to defend that monogamy is the best, or better for every society. Yeah, you could say that maybe when you look at culture of a society, maybe like the Western world. Okay, I won't say all, because not every part of the Western world has the same culture, you know. But over here in Africa, let me just use my own tribe. So I'm an Igbo man, and as far as I'm concerned, our tradition does not encourage monogamy. Our tradition, from what go, frown at monogamy. In fact, let me put it in a better word. As far as Igbo tradition was, or custom was concerned, monogamy was for losers. Monogamy was for losers. When I mean losers, I'm talking about to men who marry only one wife. They are regarded as losers, or the weak men. Not necessarily. Okay, you could still call them weak men, but not like they were weak. It's just that probably they didn't have enough resources. That's why they could only marry one wife. Yeah, because that time it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be rich to be a man, or have been married, or have a family. No, all you need is, to every man at that time you always have a land to cultivate, and then to harvest and sell. So the lazy ones were the ones that couldn't be able to farm and make some money. At that time, of course, it wasn't money. We are more like trade by barter. Cowries and the rest. So the lazy ones were the ones that engage in monogamy, and the society frown or laugh at them. The warriors, the ambitious, if you could call it, or the hardworking men. Let's put it, the hardworking men were mostly polygamous. No, like I said, monogamy was for losers in Igbo land at that time. What changed it was Christianity. So, bringing it back to Andrew Wilson argument, he is looking at it from the Christian perspective. So if you ask me, I would say it was, well, I didn't live over there, or I don't know their history better than they do. But it appears that it was Christianity that enforced monogamy in every society that it penetrated into. So it could look as if he is arguing from the Christian perspective, not necessarily it could be maybe at some point it became a tradition in the United States from the word go. I mean, the original inhabitants of what we call today United States of America, we are Red Indians, if I'm not mistaken. So we are Red Indians monogamous. So that's what I'm saying. So America is basically current America are just people from various parts of the world coming there together. So in that case, that's why they don't have one tradition. Every race or whatever have their own tradition separate from the others. So and then it's more of a secular society where there is no identity. Where to say except your color, but so yeah, monogamy was for losers. As far as I'm concerned, I don't like monogamy. I don't encourage it. Now you could say, how could monogamy be polygamy? Was it better for us at that time? Yes, it was. You know, you could say, but monogamy will give more room for the father to be able to control the children, raise them well, this and that. Also, when you look at polygamy, you also know it was also not just better for children, but also for the man. Monogamy, this is my own perspective based on experience, my own personal experience. I know you could say, well, you are a monk. How would you know when you are not married? Well, I grew up, as a kid till I became an adult. So it's not just what I observe in my own nuclear family, under my parents' house, or other people's house where I also were able to grow up, go for holidays, observe, even currently right now as an adult, I also observe what goes on in other people's homes. Monogamy emasculates men. Monogamy is not beneficial to men at all. Monogamy is only, it's not even for, it doesn't even benefit children per se. Yeah, to a large extent, yes, it's still better than single parenthood, parenthood or parenthood. How do they call it? So monogamy is still, what I mean is father, the husband, wife, and children. Yeah, it's still better than having only one parent raising children, especially if it's the woman raising children, the mother. It's not a good idea only. However, it messes up men, emasculate men. It's just something I know people have a way of coping. Monogamous men, you know, they probably have to follow the scriptures, Christian doctrine. I mean, it's not just the best for a man. I will give some maybe later other ways some men can cope. That's a monogamous relationship or marriage. Why polygamy benefits men more, and then the children as well. You could say, but polygamy at that time, at least I know in Igbo land, it's not like what we have today. The polygamous life that married people live today. Back then in Igbo land, polygamy, yes, almost average man is polygamous, have more than one wife, but they all live inside the same compound. So what happened is, let me describe the polygamous nature of Igbo people at that time, before the coming of Christianity or missionaries. When you as a boy, you are growing up, you're still a boy, most times your first wife will be chosen by your father. Your first wife is usually chosen by your father. Sometimes it will be betrothed even when you are still a kid. Your father and his friend or his neighbor or maybe another place, another village. Because what we had that time is what we have today as village. It's not necessarily a town or a country. So we have local clan, sort of. So I'll call it village. So your father might, depending how he wants it, betroth you to a girl from another clan or village. Or even if that's not done, but once you become a boy, maybe you're adolescent age, and you are becoming a man. Of course, today that will regard it as 18 years, but at that time, I believe once you start to exhibit all those, puberty signs, you start turning into a man, so to speak. Your father will search for a wife for you, not you. The mother will also assist anyway, but it's more of responsibility of the father. So they will go get a wife for you. Then build at that time, of course, you started to hunt with the father, do manly things. He will be guiding you, teaching you. So inside that same compound, your father's compound, you build your own hut. Then when the wife comes, your mother will now train that your wife, who is at that time also more like an adolescent. Yes, of course, the person will be able to bear child. Forget now that everybody is making noise as if the people that married when they are less than 18 years was an abomination. As if, anyway, I don't want to go into that. But like I said, at that time, nobody actually know the age. I can't say for sure because there was no formal education. So I don't know how they calculate age at that time. Maybe they were actually getting married around that 18 years or less. So of course the wife will be raised when you was still the daughter of a girl in his father's house. The mother will train her how to be a wife. How, notwithstanding, when he's married into another somebody's house as the first wife, the mother of the husband will train her as her daughter and raise her, teach her how to be a wife to his son. So eventually the son, with the guidance of the father, will eventually stand and become an independent man. Source for resources. His father will give him his land to start to, cultivate, do everything, whatever he needs to do to raise his own family. From there, the father will show him his own land to where he could go and build his own house and start raising his own family. So as you, the husband, you've gotten your first wife now. Now, to show that you are now fully a man, you are no longer being, things are being provided for by your father, that you can now afford to stand in your society or your clan as a man, then you have to get a second wife. Now it's on you. It's no longer your father. It's on you to now get a second wife. The first wife now becomes like a mother in that compound. So that's a right is on her. So you could marry, and what happens is in your compound, you have your own hut, which you can, because you have already become Nani, that's the father. You have your own hut inside that compound, or your own room. Call it a room, separate from your wife's room. The wife and the children lives in their own hut. You live in your own hut, separate, independent. but all inside the compound. So even if you marry 4 wives, as long as you have enough resources, you build each of your wife their own house inside with their own children as they are raising up. So you as a man, you might end up having 10 children or 15 children from those 2, 3, or 4 wives. So as those boys, they are your children. As they are growing up, you take them, and especially the male ones, you take them, train them. They also become man of their own. Get a wife for them. They go and build their own house. So what I'm giving you is not a perfect analogy how it was. I'm just telling you, just like an average. There could be some things that I didn't get right. You understand? So, but at least you have idea how the polygamy life in Igbo land at that time was. It was not like today where a man could marry one wife, keep in one state, then the another state or another locality or another 100 kilometers far away, you have a second wife. Then you'll be shuttling between the two or the third one or whatever. So that's how it was. So in other words, the husband or the father is still in the life of the children. They all live inside that compound. How do I mean that the man it benefits more? Because he still has a room for his independence. Women, when you live with women, they drain you. People don't, it's just that men don't always want to say that. Women will drain you. It takes so much to be able to keep your testosterone, your manhood stay on that same level when you live with a woman. They drain. That's why sometimes some people will start saying, oh, this man is not behaving like a man, or he's very weak. But before it was like a warrior, but suddenly. So nature made it that for a man to thrive, he needs to stay on his own. Even though he's a father, he's a husband, he's staying in his hut. He can sleep with whichever wife, or maybe you have an arrangement which wife you want to sleep with today, or this week, or this one, who will cook for you today, who will cook for you tomorrow, or whatever. But at the end of the day, all go back to their own hut while you stay on yours. Your children can come in your hut and play with you and the rest. So when your sons grow up, they can actually come once in a while to hang out with you, and may even sleep in your hut with you as well. Since they've already becoming a man, they can no longer stay with their sisters or their mother. I don't know if you are getting it. So you are in your children's life. So it's not because you're a monogamous family, you think because it's only you and one woman. So you live in the same room, the same hut, the same flat, that you have more control on your children to raise them right. No, even this one as well. So that's why at that time there were more, the birth rate was very high in Igbo land. Now, in terms of degeneracy, the same control, the same, monogamy, yes, encourage, increases sanity in a society. Likewise, polygamy. Even at that time, as the Igbo land, we have our own way of. There was no sort of. It was more like a communal democratic system. Yes, it was it was communal and also democratic. Yeah, women were not part of authority or decision making, if I will put it that way. No, they were not allowed to make decisions for the society or even in the family. They are not even allowed to attend any part where decisions are made or their opinions are sought. No. The man remains the head of the house. The man takes every responsibility. Anything any member of the family does outside or did outside the house, the husband or the father is the one that will take the blame or whatever punishment that comes to that household. there are checks, there are ways. At that time, like I said, it's not like a communal system where, like the Soviet Union, where you have like a government that controls everybody. No, in that Igbo land, at that time, almost every male, adult male, has a say. You contribute to the decision making, but there is hierarchy. You have the chieftaincy title ones. You have the elderly ones, mostly elderly ones, chieftaincy titled ones. The warriors, of course, the men, the able-bodied, you know. So almost then the first sons, they have, like I said, they have hierarchies. Then you all come, depending on what needs to be discussed or issues at hand. Almost every male, adult male, are always involved. You have to come to that assembly for the issues to be discussed or disputes to be settled. Then whatever that is decided there will be taken individually by the husband, the father, to go and enforce in their homes. Then females as well, the wives, they also have their own group, but they are not like decision making for the society. Their own distinct there is to enforce um, rules against hypogamy, or to not to allow women to go out of their, go do bad things. They are the one that actually enforce or fight against hypergamy, which is more like a natural trait in women. Just like men have their own natural trait, but if not checked, can lead to degeneracy. Like for example, at that time in the society, men in Igbo land, it's actually the men that enforce rules against fornication and adultery. Remember, the Igbo land at that time was practicing, um, what's it called? What's the name of this religion? It was not Christianity. It was not Islamic religion. What's the name? I remember it, I'll talk about it. So they worship idols. We worship idols. That's their religion at that time. So I'm forgetting what I was trying to say. Anyway, my point is, as much as men have this trait, the nature is in us to want to have sex. The sex drive is very high. So if left unchecked, it's going to create a lot of problem in the society. Because it means almost every man walking out sees a lady, you start to, have his way on her. So, but men enforce it by called polygamy, adultery, and fornication, which that's what Christianity called it. Sex outside marriage, and sex with when you are married, having sex with a married woman. So men will enforce you not to do it at that time in the society. So it's not as if it was only Christianity that was saying or have that kind of rule. So that's why mostly when people try to condemn that, what's the name of this religion, man? Condemn that religion. When I remember it, I would say when you come to condemn that religion, it looked as if it was very bad. It was only Christianity that had morals. No. So even at that time, once you're able-bodied and you want to start having sex, you have to get married. There's no two ways about it. That was when virginity was the norm, almost every girl before they got married were virgins. I mean, you dare not have sex with a girl that the father did not allow you to at that time. Okay, so my point is there were rules, there were checks to prevent any kind of degeneracy in Igbo land at that time. So that's why I'm telling you, I'm not saying monogamy or Christianity was the best for everyone, or still the best today. No. It's just that when you're looking at it from your own perspective or from your own doctrine, you look as if that's it has to be the only one. But when you have not experienced the others, the reason why I'm telling you all these things, I know my tradition. And I was also a Christian, a Catholic for that matter. I was raised as a Catholic. I passed through seminary institution. So I understand all these things. So I can tell you, yes, each one, even though I'm disagreeing with Andrew on this case, but I also understand the relevance of Christianity in today's world. I mean, yeah, the relevance of Christianity in today's societies everywhere. I mean, look at Christianity is basically being abandoned, and now every part of the Western world is like what they put in the Bible, Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, which society, if they had held onto Christianity, it wouldn't have happened or happening. You know, so yeah, I understand it, but it doesn't mean every other type of marriage or religion. What's the name? I'm trying to find it. Hold on. I'm trying to find this thing. I'm trying to find the name of that religion that worship idols. I think it starts with P. Wow, how do I just forget this thing? Wow. Okay, so I think I'm just surprised that I just lost uh trying to remember. Yeah, like even like I mentioned, in the Igbo land, they had a hierarchy. Like we have chief priest. The chief priest is the middleman between the forefathers or the gods and then the people. So just like we have priests, reverend fathers, and the rest. So he consults the gods, the chief priest, and then relate the information. So sometimes, depending on issues, um, they seek advice from the chief priest or what to do. So, but chief priest doesn't enforce rules. But it can manipulate some rules to be made because all it takes the chief priest is to claim that the god says this rule should be made, or this person that violates a rule of this manner should be punished in certain ways. You know, so I can't find that name. Since I'm getting old now. So I'm bringing it back to everything. So no, monogamy is good. Polygamy is good as well. Monogamy is not good for me. As far as I'm concerned, it's not. However, I understand that some men, because of the religion, like Christianity, and even though it's now adopted in the secular world that monogamy is the ideal marriage, but like I said, it was actually I can't say for sure, but it appears Christianity was what brought and enforced monogamy. When you look at some other African cultures, and you could tell that their tradition probably has always been polygamy, not monogamy. So anyway, so that's my thought on this. Like I said, monogamy in the Igbo land at that time was for losers. There are only men, people, only few men who couldn't afford to have more than one wife were monogamous, and they were not taken seriously in the society. So the men who were regarded as the agabas, what we call it in Igbo, you know, that's the real men, if you could say that like that. The real men at that time were the ones that when they speak, their opinion are taken seriously. Yeah, those are the polygamous ones. And you start to get chieftaincy title as you age, you know, which is most at that time. Even now in Igbo land, that's what most men crave for, or majority of men crave for, to get that chieftaincy. And remember, men respect hierarchy. So once you get a title, chieftaincy title, you are above majority of men at that time. So your words are taken more seriously. Every other man under below you will respect you. So that's what most men at that time, even up till now, like I say in Igbo land, men go many ways to get that title, Igbo man. So if you're not polygamous, I can't say for sure if there is a rule against a monogamous man from having the title. But like I said, you are not regarded as a full man or real man when you are polygamous. So no, when you are monogamous. Uh, so So, in other words, there were rules at that time for men not to sleep around. Oh, yes, you'll be allowed to marry as many as you can. I can't remember if there's any exact figure, but at least you can marry more than one or two or three wives, as long as you can take care of them. It kind of look like Islamic religion self, their doctrine, but their own might not be as identical in terms of the rules, how it applies to your wife, your children, and the rest. But then, you can marry more than one. Like I said, it was the best for the society as far as I'm concerned in Igbo land. And we were able to maintain that for a long time. No, I mean, didn't mean that they didn't have their issues at that time, but fertility rate was very high then. But now, I mean, wow. Maybe on a different video we'll talk about it, So, okay, so I actually forgot. I know eventually I remember it, but the name of the religion I was talking about, that worship idols in the shrine in Igbo land. Man, this name, sir. What's the name? What's the name? Man. Okay. Meanwhile, this picture you are looking at is not the ideal picture of polygamous family at that time, but it's kind of give you idea what it looks like. The children were not in the picture though, but you could see more like the wives of the the husband. This one, the son, this belief was the son, the one sitting on the right, no, on the left of the man, the elderly man, probably the first son. Like I said, the first son is also a form of hierarchy in Igbo land. So the other ones are basically the wives. So you can see he married so many wives. So you can see even the things kept at the table, the horn is carrying to show that he was regarded as the king in the compound or the wife. So, I mean, you can say whatever you want to say. but it was the best for us at that time, and probably in the near future, hopefully we'll go back to it. Okay.